All right, I would like to welcome back on the channel Joe Manniello, Newsday's NFL pick writer. Joe, how you doing today?
Doing good, Matt. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Week 5, I went 4-1 to bring my record to 17-8. Joe, you went 2-3 to bring you to 11-14 so far through 5 weeks of the season.
For you. Good picking.
Yeah, I'm getting a little lucky. Hopefully, cross your fingers, it goes the rest of the way, but off to a good
Chargers,
start.
right? I think it's the Chargers, right? Monday night.
Yes, I did. I had the Chargers on Monday night.
They played well. They should have won that game.
They absolutely should have. So let's jump right in.
Typical Chargers loss.
Right up their alley, of course. So let's jump right into it this week. The Giants play Washington this week. Giants are favored by 2.5 in this game. Who do you like here?
2.5, right?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I just don't want to pick it. I remember last year, Giants Washington. I knew I was going to say Redskins. I remember I couldn't pick that one either. I wound up going Washington, and I remember regretting it, and the Giants won easily. I'm going to go with the Giants just because, it's hard to pick them being favored, but Washington has lost 4 in a row, most of them, all 4 by, I think, at least 14 points, and they haven't been that competitive. I think Kyle Allen's going to play, but the reason I'm taking the Giants is last week they finally they were really close to victory, and they seemed angry after that loss, like they really, upset that they didn't win, and I guess, 0-5, they're definitely one of the worst teams in the league, but I don't think the Washington's that much better, maybe even just as bad. So at home, 2.5. If they can't win this game, then they're going to possibly go 0-16. So I don't see who else they can beat besides Washington twice. So I'll lay the 2.5. I don't feel super confident about it. Don't like the game at all. But the main reason is that, they seemed angry that they didn't win that game and they lost, after Dak Prescott went down, they had a chance and they blew that game. So I just don't think that, I think they'll come out with a little more intensity, and I think that that'll be the difference. I'll lay the 2.5 begrudgingly, and Giants get their first one.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm going with the Giants as well, and they really should have beat the Cowboys. They jumped out to an early lead, and then they fought back and got back into the game and ended up winning late. I just think that they're playing with a little bit more fight than Washington has the last few weeks. I know they got that surprising win in week 1, but they haven't looked too good, and I'm not sure how confident I am in Kyle Allen. So I'm going to go with the Giants. I too don't love this game, but I feel like them at home, and like you said, if they can't win this week, then I don't know if they're going to get a win all year. So give me the Giants minus 2.5. Next up is those New York Jets going up against the Dolphins this week. Schedule changed around a little bit. Dolphins are favored by 9.5. Are you sticking with your just bet against the Jets?
Of course, the Jets. They were supposed to be at the Chargers, who were probably wishing that they were playing the Jets this week.
Right.
But they're on a bye, and Miami was supposed to be playing at Denver. Is hosting the Jets. Miami last week. That was almost going to be one of my picks last week with the points. I wound up taking the Eagles, but I was going to take the Dolphins plus 8 at San Francisco. They won 43-17. They demolished them, and now they got the Jets. I think Adam Gase. I don't know what he's going to do not to get fired, but if they lose by 20 or 30 points, maybe this will be it. I don't see the point in keeping him around anymore. But I think this might be his last game if they get blown out, which I think is probably going to happen. The Jets. They're the only team in the NFL who's 0-5 against the spread, so they are number one at something they can't cover. And I just think the Dolphins, they're playing really well. Fitzpatrick looks great. This guy never gets old, I guess. And there's no reason to take the Jets. What's the reason? 9.5 is a lot of points, but I think the Dolphins just beat the Niners by 26. The Jets, undisciplined defense, they can't stop anyone. I'd be shocked if the Dolphins don't score high 20s, even high 30s, and easily cover the spread. So keep taking against the Jets until they give you a reason not to.
Yeah, same logic here. I'm taking the Dolphins as well, minus 9.5, and this 9.5 doesn't scare me. The Jets lose by double digits consistently. That's the Adam Gase way, and after this whole drama with Le'Veon Bell, they're going to run the offense through Frank Gore and Joe Flacco. I just expect it to be, on the Jets' end, low scoring. I think the Dolphins will be able to put up points, but I don't know, maybe like a 30-13 kind of game. I don't see how the Jets keep this one close at all, so I'm going to take the Dolphins with you.
Yep.
All right, we got 2 games of the week this week, a couple to pick from. We're going to start with the Chiefs and the Bills. Great matchup. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5. Who do you like in this game?
Yeah, it's another close game where I was not even sure exactly who I was going to take before before you called. It's supposed to be tomorrow night, Thursday night, and I was thinking they were both going to be 5-0, and then of course the NFL, they're both 4-1, and the game's on Monday, so it's never what you think it's going to be with the NFL. I'm tempted to take the Bills here, getting 3.5 with the extra half point. And I mean, they played so bad. They looked really bad last night against the Titans, 42-16 loss. I was shocked by that. But I'm gonna go with the Kansas City here.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes has only lost back-to-back games twice in his career. I was actually surprised it was that many. I thought maybe it'd be once. So, and they just gave up 42 points themselves. I think it was 42 against the Raiders. So, I think the fact that they lost that game at home is the reason why I'm siding with the Chiefs here. If they had won that game and they were 5-0 and the Bills were off that bad loss, maybe I would have taken the Bills. But I'm actually, believe it or not, 0-5 picking Chiefs games this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I picked them, like I did against the Chargers, they don't cover. And who was it last week? Oh, the Patriots. I picked against them with the Patriots. And
right.
Oh, no, the Ravens, the Monday night game, I picked the Ravens. But I think that this is, Mahomes' game. I think he'll put up points. I think it'll be a close game. If the Bills win, I would not be shocked. So I don't feel like super confident about this game. I wish it was 2.5. I like the idea that the Bills coming, off a bad loss, primetime national TV at home, and they supposedly were preparing for the Chiefs as well as the Titans when they weren't sure if they were going to be playing the Titans Tuesday or the Chiefs Thursday before the Titans test came back negative. But I just don't. This is all about Mahomes. I think he'll have a big game, and I'll lay the 3.5. They win by 3, so be it. But I think they'll win a high-scoring game, maybe like a 34-27 kind of game. So I'll lay the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well. And I just don't see this Chiefs team losing back-to-back games. I think they're too good. And, that's not to discredit Buffalo. They've been really, really good to start this year outside of, their rough performance against Tennessee on Tuesday night. I just think that Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, they have, something to prove. They really want to repeat this year. That's been their mentality all along. Run it back, and I think that they're going to come out with something to prove and win this game by maybe like a touchdown. I'm thinking like 34-27, something like that.
That's what I said.
Oh, there you go. Shows how I'm paying attention. But definitely, I think that the Chiefs win this one in an exciting game on Monday night. So both on the Chiefs there. Let's get to the next game of the week that we're going to do. We're going to do Packers-Bucks, a huge NFC matchup. Packers are favored by 2.5. Who do you like in this game?
I think that spread actually went down to like 1.5. But just double check it.
I'll check it right now.
I'm not sure. But yeah, this is a good matchup. A lot of people might say take the Bucks here because Brady's really good after a loss, but a lot of those wins were when he's with the Patriots and a much better team and Belichick. So I'm going to take Rodgers and the Packers here. It's a small number. Basically, all they got to do is win the game, and they're off a bye, which is a big reason why I like them. They're 4-0. They're averaging about 40 points. This will be the toughest challenge yet because Todd Bowles' defense is a good one in Tampa Bay. But I think Aaron Rodgers right there in the MVP front running with Russell Wilson. He's putting up ridiculous numbers, and Devontae Adams should be back. So I think the Packers, this will be a high-scoring game. I think both teams probably score in the 30s, but I think the Packers do enough, and Rodgers best Brady in one of those matchups that everyone wished we would have gotten in the Super Bowl, but we never got. But Rodgers is the better quarterback now and better offense, and Packers just clicking off a bye. I like them to keep it going, so I'll lay the 1.5, 2.5, whatever it is. I think it's a high-scoring game, like a 35-31 kind of game.
Yeah, pregame.com has it as a pick'em right now.
To pick them. Okay, it's a great Packers.
Yeah, I know this is boring for content, but I'm right there with you. Packers on this one, especially as a pick'em. I think that they are just clicking on all cylinders, and the Bucs have been good to start this year, no doubt about it. And you said it. We wished that we got a Super Bowl of Rodgers versus Brady in their heyday, but at this point, I think we'll settle for a nice Monday night matchup. And just like the Chiefs and the Bills, I expect this to be a good game. I think it's a back and forth game, but in the end, I'm going to go with the hot team. The Packers are firing on all cylinders on offense, and Aaron Rodgers, I just don't know how you can bet against him right now. So I'm taking the Packers as well with you.
I think it's a Sunday 4:00 game. I don't think it's Monday night.
Oh, it is Sunday. Excuse me. I got the games.
It's probably the 4:00. The 4:20, the best game.
Yeah,
the late game.
It's 4:25. You're exactly right. So with that, let's get into a best bet. Hopefully we differ here a little bit. Who do you got this week?
Yeah, I had a couple of thoughts here, a couple choices. Could have even picked the Dolphins, but I'm gonna go with the Vikings minus. I think it's 3.5 at home against the reeling Falcons, 0-5 Falcons. The Vikings last week, they totally outplayed Seattle. Should have won that game going away, and they were a yard away from winning it with the questionable call. It probably was the right call. I think 1 yard to end the game, and then of course they didn't get it, and you knew the Seahawks were going to win, but they lost that game by 1. I think they're a much better team. The Falcons are. They fired their coach Dan Quinn, and I don't think it's going to have a huge effect the way the Texans is. I don't think. Dan Quinn, they brought him back last year. He was supposedly going to get fired. It looked like,
right.
And then the players played well, and he came back. So it could be one of those things where, maybe they feel they let him down, or they're just out of it. Like you're 0-5. Think about what the mindset is of those players. They're not making the playoffs. Season's over. Like what's the big motivation? I don't see them coming out firing, especially against the Minnesota team that is 1-4, but has played better than that. They, it should have been 2-3 if they could have held off Seattle there. So I think they'll, not having the fans in Minnesota helps Atlanta because that's a great home field advantage. But
right.
I think they have, even if Dalvin Cook doesn't play, they have Alexander Mattison, and they got Adam Thielen and Jefferson, the rookie. I think they aired out. I think they scored 30-plus points, and I just don't see the Falcons putting up much fight. So I think 3.5 is a small number. I'll lay it with Minnesota if that's bet.
Yeah, that line moved to 4, but right.
4, okay.
Yeah, right around in that range. I'm with you on this week. I like the Vikings. For my best bet, though, I'm going a different direction. I'm taking the Rams minus 3.5 over the 49ers. I don't like how the 49ers have been playing. Obviously, they lost a tough game to the Miami Dolphins, but Jimmy G's struggling, and they don't really look too hot, while the Rams look like the team that they were a couple of years ago when they were in the Super Bowl. So I like the Rams to keep rolling, and I like the 49ers to keep struggling here in Week 6. I'm going to take Rams minus 3.5 for my best bet this week.
I like the Rams too. That got moved into the Sunday night game.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that'll be.
I like the Rams too.
Perfect. So how about an underdog this week?
Underdog is actually another primetime game. Dallas Cowboys plus 2.5. It might be 3 now.
Okay.
Double check for me.
Mm-hmm.
Hosting the Cardinals. A lot of people are just going to be like, oh, no Dak Prescott. They're not going to win. But Andy Dalton is probably the best backup quarterback in football. He probably is better than some of the starting quarterbacks. He played, ton of years with the Bengals. They went to the playoffs a few years. And not a great quarterback, obviously, but, a solid quarterback. And, when you saw him, Prescott went down, they came back and beat the Giants. And, Dallas' defense is nothing to write home about. Very bad defense. So I think the Cardinals will put up points. But the Cardinals, I may have overrated them a little bit. I thought they were going to be a playoff team. But, they crushed the Jets this week. But before that, they had lost to at Carolina. And then before that, they lost home against Detroit. So I don't think they're quite there. Maybe, I'm not sure they're a playoff team yet, even though I picked them. I mean, they could be, but probably more in that, 8, 9, 7 range. So I think this is also a great spot for Dallas to back up the whole, us against the world, let's go win it for Dak kind of mentality at home Monday night. They have some fans there. So I think you're going to get a really inspired effort from the whole team. And I think Dalton will have a nice game. So I think it's a high-scoring game. I think Dallas wins a 31-28 kind of game. So I like them getting points and to win outright.
Okay, there you go. That line's Cowboys plus 2.
Plus 2? Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm with you on that one. I'm going to go with the Browns plus 3.5 over the Steelers. I really like how the Browns are playing, and I think that the Steelers are benefiting after an easy schedule to start this year. They've beaten the Eagles, who've gotten off to a really tough start, the Texans, who fired their coach, the Broncos without their starting quarterback, and the Giants, who are one of the worst teams in football so far. I think the Browns have something to prove, that they are, a legitimate team, and I think the Steelers are a little bit of a fraudulent 4-0, so I think they come back to earth slightly, and the Browns get an upset win on the road this week against their division rival.
Yeah, it's a fair point about the schedule, but I think the Steelers are probably better than that. But that's why I was wondering if this could have been the third game of the week after the Chiefs, Bills, and the Bucs, Packers. Should be a good one, but I'm a little worried about Baker Mayfield. He has a MRI on his ribs, so I'm not sure if he's 100%. I just feel like even last week I picked against the Browns for the whole. They always lose these kind of games, but I don't know if they're ready to compete with the Ravens and Steelers. But if they win, it'll be a great story.
Absolutely. So let's run through these real quick to recap. Both Joe and I are on the Giants minus 2.5 over Washington. Both of us are also on the Dolphins minus 9.5 over the Jets. We both like the Chiefs minus 3.5 over the Bills. And in a pick'em game, Packers and Bucks, we are both going Packers. My best bet is Rams minus 3.5 over the 49ers. Joe likes the Vikings minus 4 over the Falcons. I have for my upset pick the Browns plus 3.5 over the Steelers, and Joe is going with the Cowboys plus 2. 6 picks this week for week 6, ironically, and it's always fun, Joe. Appreciate it. We'll talk again next week.
All right, Matt. Thanks so much.